Hi, my name is Katie and I'll be leading you through a flow practice today. So some things you might want for this practice would be a strap, a couple of blocks, maybe a blanket. Some options for this if you're at home would be a book in place of a block, a scarf in place of a strap, pillows, blankets, whatever you think you might need. And when you've gathered all of that, you can meet me on your mat. We're going to begin in a supine position. So laying on our backs. Taking time to come into a comfortable reclined position here. Palms can face the ceiling, shoulder blades melting into the mat. Or you can bring one hand to the belly, one to the chest to connect in with your breath. And as you start to breathe deeply here, feeling the belly rise, feeling the chest lift. And see if you can breathe to a 3-part breath. Inhale, belly expands. Chest, ribcage widens, chest lifts. Exhale, navel to spine, releasing the full breath. Inhale, belly, rib cage, chest. Exhale for a count of 3 or 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue with that 3-part breath, belly, ribcage, chest. And as you breathe here, I invite the intention of balance to your practice today. Contemplating what that might mean for you. It could be balance in the sense of masculine and feminine, Shakti and Shiva, fiery energy and cool serenity. Could be balancing your schedule, managing your time, and find what feels out of balance for you in this moment. And build your intention for practice around that. When you feel your intention has solidified, start to draw your knees into your chest. Taking some small circles here, massaging the low back, the lumbar spine, and reversing those circles. And from here, bringing hands to the mat, extend legs long, stacking knees, heels above hips. You can flex the toes towards your face, activate your low belly. And then slowly begin to lower the left leg, engaging the core to do so. Mindful that your low back stays on the mat. And when that left leg is flush with the mat, if this feels like too intense of a stretch, you can bring the sole of your foot to the mat, bend the knee. If you have a strap handy or a scarf and you'd like to use it, you can bend the right knee and bring the strap around the ball of the foot. From here, draw the toes towards the face. Option to just use your hands here. You can take hands behind the calf. You can interlace fingers behind the thigh. And finding a gentle stretch through the back of your leg. Again, if you extend that left leg, this will intensify the stretch. So choose what feels good for you. If the body's not warm yet, be mindful, be gentle. And with the toes flexed towards the face, opening through the hamstring, we're going to take the strap or the leg into our right hand, bring our left hand to the left hip, anchoring it to the mat, and slowly draw right leg open. Opening through the inner thigh, the hip, breathing here. Finding a natural pace with your breath and letting that be your pace of practice. With your next inhale, bring the sole of the foot back up to the ceiling. Draw the toes back towards the face to reset and switch your grip. Left hand can come to the strap or the leg. Take a finger from your right hand and place it in the hip crease here. You want to anchor your right hip down towards the mat and then slowly start to draw your right leg over to the left side. We're aiming to stretch through the IT band here, through the outside of the right leg. So if your hip starts to float up off the mat, it's turning into a twist rather than an IT band stretch. So see if you can soften that right hip down to the mat. And if you're tight like me through the IT band, you might not need to come very far to feel this. It might be quite intense. So take time, continue to breathe, and notice where you can soften. And after another few breaths here, allow that right leg, either variation here, to come all the way over with the leg long, hip lifting, or you can bend the knee, drawing it over the body. You want both shoulder blades to stay on the mat. You can extend arms out to a T position. You can bring them to goalposts, or you can keep left hand onto the right knee, gently drawing it, finding a length. And if you'd like a full spinal twist here, take your gaze in the opposite direction of the knee. Nice deep breaths, softening into this twist, supported by the mat. Use your inhale to bring your gaze through center first, your knee follows. Hug both knees into the chest, this time take them wide towards either shoulder. Rock side to side. Massage the muscles of the back. When you're ready, extend legs long. Moving to the other side, we'll slowly lower right leg, staying active through the core. Left leg stays lifted. And once the right foot meets the mat, option to keep it long or bend the knee. You can hold behind the thigh, hold the calf, or use your strap. So in any variation of this, today we're still drawing the toes towards the face, finding length through the back of the leg, energizing out of the heel. Keep breathing here. Feeling the difference between your left and right side, noticing if this side is tighter, out of balance, then take a few more breaths here. Give it the time it needs to open, bringing the body back into balance. And then switch your grip. Left hand comes to the strap, right hand comes to the hip. We open left leg out long. Only come so far so as not to lift through that right hip. Hip stays rooted to the mat. Mindful not to overstretch. And keep breathing here. And with your next inhale, draw the foot back through center. Reset by drawing the toes towards the face, switching the grip. You can bring one or two fingers into that hip crease, softening left hip down towards the mat, and slowly start to bring the leg over. If you feel your hip lifting, you're too far. Come back, and if you're not feeling a stretch through the outside of the leg here, you can draw your toes closer to your face, closer towards the back of the the mat. Softening here, giving time for the body to open. And once you feel that stretch, feel the benefits, then you can come into that full twist, either keeping the leg long or bending through the knee, rolling over, both shoulder blades stay on the mat. If your shoulder's lifting, you're too deep in your twist and you might need a prop under the knee. You can extend left leg long out to a T. You can keep right hand on left knee, helping to draw it over, or bring both arms long. To achieve a full spinal twist, all the way up the back, you need to add in the cervical spine by twisting the gaze, taking your eyes in the opposite direction of your knee. Breathing here. Just noticing how, as you breathe deeply, your inhales and exhales change the stretch in the body. Exhaling to engage the core, bringing out the spine. Inhale to create length. Think about lengthening from tailbone to crown. We can do this even from a supine position. And then when you're ready, gaze comes through center with an inhale, knee follows. Hug both knees into the chest again, this time creating a little energy. Start to rock back and forth. You might want to tuck the forehead up a little bit towards the knees. Use this rock to massage the back body. And then when you're ready, come all the way up to seated. From this seated position, we'll open our practice with the sound of Om. Om is a unifying sound. You're welcome to join me, let it reverberate through the body, feeling your intention, creating balance. With an inhale, exhale to cleanse, inhale to Om. Carrying that sound with you, with your intention. Float forward, wrists under shoulders, palms connected to the mat, knees under hips, tabletop. And you can move through a few cat-cows here if you'd like, arching the back, rounding the spine, any movements that feel good. And then we're going to come for a gentle lateral stretch, taking the gaze over to the left hip. And be mindful not to swing the hip out. You're engaging through the side body to draw the hip towards your face, towards your eyes. And then come back through center with an inhale. Exhale, do the same on the other side. Looking at your right hip, draw your right hip towards your face, engage through the side body. Use the core here, the abdominals, the obliques, to deepen this lateral stretch. So as you're flexing on the left side, you're stretching on the right. Just a breath to each side. Come back through center. And then from here, we're going to inhale, sweep the right leg up behind us. And from here, bend the knee. Send the sole of the foot up to the sky, like you're going to step on the ceiling, 5 pulses here. 1, engage the core. 2, the glutes. 3, the hamstrings. 4, the back body. 5, tie it all together, squeeze, hold, and release. Extend the leg long. Reach left hand out. From here, can you bend the knee and reach the hand behind you? Finding balance here. Option to hold working on that balance, or add in deeper engagement. Start to press foot into hand, hand into foot, opening. Breathing. Feel those stabilizing muscles in your wrist working to balance you. Right hand solid on the mat. And then release the foot without slingshotting. Come long for a breath. And exhale, release. We'll take that to the other side. So as you inhale, sweep the left leg up. Bend the knee, send the sole of the foot up to the sky like you're about to step on the ceiling. And we'll pulse here. 1. Engage the back body. 2. Belly up and in. 3. Glutes working. 4. Hamstrings. 5. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And come back down. Extend the leg long. Finding your balance here, opposite arm. Right arm lifts. Stay long through the neck, long through the back body. And then if you're ready, bend the knee. Bring the hand to the outside of the foot. Find your balance. If you want to deeply engage here, start to extend, actively pressing the foot into the hand, opening through the body here. Keep breathing. Nice stretch for the quad. Good activation for the back. Gently release, mindful not to slingshot the foot. Balancing the body left to right. Come back to tabletop. You can take some circles here. Take some cat-cows. Find movement that helps you release. And then from here, we're gonna walk our hands forward slightly, come onto the belly. So keeping belly, thighs, tops of the feet on the mat, pressing the low body into the mat here. Bring your arms wide. You want the fingertips to be tented, the hands to be tented, and you want to stack the wrists under the elbows. So a nice 90-degree in the elbow if possible. With your inhale, sweep the chest up. Activate through the back body, exhale, release. Inhale, sweep up. Finding nice big movement here. Stay solid through the low body on the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, come onto the belly, release the hands. You can bring the palms under the shoulders, the elbows face the back of the mat, in tight to the side body. And try not to use them for these first few breaths. We're going to inhale, feet pressed into the mat. Sweep the chest up without using the hands. Just the muscles of the back body. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale to lift. And if this feels strenuous on the low back, if you feel tight in your sacrum, spread the feet wider. Create more space with your placement. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And this time, you can use the hands. Inhale, lift. Cobra pose. Holding here, tuck the toes under, revolving cobra. Take the gaze over the right shoulder. Shoulders stay facing the front of the mat. Look towards your right heel. Inhale through center. Exhale, twisting cobra. Shoulders stay forward. Inhale. Exhale. Continue moving to each side with the breath. If this becomes too much, come back down onto your mat. One more to each side. Relax shoulders away from ears. Exhale, release. Nice flat back here. You can stack the hands, bringing forehead onto the backs of the fingers. You can wiggle the hips, releasing the low back. And then from here, press through the palms. Bring toes under onto the mat. and float your way right into a down dog, first one of the video today. Breathing here, nice deep breaths. Inhale, send the sit bones up to the sky, widening them. Create space in the low back. You can pedal the feet, releasing the calves that are always working to keep us on our feet, keep us balanced, working overtime. Give them a nice little stretch, tucking one foot behind, bringing heel to the mat. And then think about a solid base here. Fingers are spread wide. You're actively pressing out of the mat, lengthening under the arms, finding length in the armpits. And if spiraling imagery helps you, think about a gentle spiral inwards of the forearms to keep the palms on the mat, and then an outward spiraling of the biceps. Find how that creates space in the upper back, brings the shoulders away from the ears, and allows you to be more solid in your down dog. And then from here, take the gaze between the hands and gently step your way to the front of your mat. Finding a forward fold position, feet hip width apart. A nice easy measurement is 2 fists. With your feet hip width apart, gently bend the knees so that you're not rounding through the back to fold. Let the belly be on the thighs. Head can hang heavy, crown of the head to the mat. And if it's comfortable, bringing hands to either elbow, rocking over the feet, allowing the weight of your arms to create space along your spine. And give the head a gentle nod yes, shake no, flowing, freeing tension from the neck and shoulders. Release the hands, inhale, root to rise, solid through the feet, roll up to standing. Mountain pose. Nice, deep breath here. Thinking about your balance in every day, can you lift all 10 toes? Can you try to set them down one at a time, pinky all the way into the big toe? And then notice how as you flex them and spread them, your base of support widens, offering you more stability, more strength. And then draw that strength upwards. Think about activating your midline, engaging, lifting out of the arches all the way up your midline. Tuck the tailbone, engage the core, reach out of the hands. A mountain pose is full body activation. Draw the shoulder blades in and down the back. Reach out of your crown and feel how this simple pose begins to engage every muscle in the body. And with this solid, stable mountain, we're going to begin to move through a Vinyasa Flow. Keeping the stability with you, your solid base. We're going to move through Sun Salutation B. Sweep the arms down, touch the mat, reach up out of the fingers. Option here to press knees in together, or if the feet are hip distance apart, knees stay pointing in the same direction as the toes, activating that midline through the inner thighs. So whichever position you're in, finding the right variation for you. Chair pose, exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, jump or step to plank. Lower the body, chaturanga. Option to lower the knees. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Step the foot between the hands. Back heel comes to the mat, front knee stacked over ankle. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, plant the palms, step to plank, chaturanga. Collarbones stay wide. Activate your traps to protect your shoulders. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step the foot between the hands. Back heel comes to the mat, warrior one. Front knee stacked above ankle. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step to plank. Flow through. Meet in down dog. Empty the belly of the breath. Take the gaze between the hands. Step or float forward. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to sweep into chair. Hold here. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Find your chair. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, jump or step to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Hold this down dog. We're going to move through a warrior sequence. From here, inhale to sweep the right foot up and back. Exhale to draw the knee to the nose. Set the foot down. Inhale, back heel comes to the mat. We windmill the arms up, warrior two. In this warrior two position, we're going to take time through each warrior, finding our stability, finding our balance before we flow. Heel can come into the arch of the back foot. Front knee stays stacked over ankle. Notice if you can see your big toe or if your knee is caving in. Draw the knee open, able to see your first two toes. Activate the edge of your back foot for a sturdy base. And then add in the arms. Hips are open, arms. Strong arms, check to see that they're in alignment. Front and back. And then strong gaze out over that front hand. Sometimes we have a tendency to lean into our warrior. Can you draw your shoulders so that they're right over the hips? Activating tailbone towards the mat, lengthening out of the crown. Feel a fire in that front thigh as you hold your warrior. Inhale, front thigh stays the same. Inhale, exalted warrior. Opening through the front body. Breathing here. Transitioning back through warrior two. Turning the back foot. Preparing for warrior one. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands meet behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Open the shoulders. Exhale, humble warrior. Option here to keep activating out of the hands, lifting, opening through the shoulders as you bow, or they can rest on your low back. Find the position that works best for you today. Breathe into it. Release the hands. Turn onto the back toes. Step your way to plank. Option to flow through chaturanga, up dog, down dog, or come straight to down dog. From here, inhale, left leg lifts. Nice and long. Mindful not to open through the left hip. We're not opening to lift the leg super high. We close the hip and challenge ourselves. How high can you lift it from here? Bend the knee. Bring the foot between the hands. From here, back heel comes to the mat. We windmill up. Warrior two. Take time. Set yourself up. Solid in your base. Strong through the outer edge of the back foot. Root down through the big toe mound. Knee is right over the ankle. Is your knee caving in? Can you draw it open? Think about tucking your bum underneath you. And then stack your spine. Shoulders above hips. Add in the arms. When you find the proper stacking, the proper flow of energy through this pose, it becomes easy. Find your alignment. Inhale, exalted. Opening through the front of the body, keeping a bend to the front knee. Exhale, come back through center. Rotate the hips forward. Warrior one position. Hips face forward, train track the feet. Bring the hands behind the low back. Interlace the fingers in the opposite direction. Might feel a little strange. And then bow your way into humble warrior. Option here to extend through the arms, deepening the opening through the shoulders. Breathing here. When you're ready, release the hands, step your way to plank. Option to flow or meet straight in down dog. We're going to build on to that warrior. A breath to each movement. If you'd like to take 3 breaths in down dog or child's pose, just feeling the effects in your body, feeling differences left to right. And then as we flow through that warrior, it becomes a dancing warrior sequence. Adding beauty, adding grace to something that might be seen as fierce. Finding that balance, weaving the two together. As you inhale, make your way back, down dog. Sweep the right leg up. Use your next exhale, knee to nose. Set the foot down, find warrior two. You know the alignment now, just a breath to find this pose. Inhale, exalted. Exhale brings you through warrior two. Close the hips, interlace the fingers, humble warrior. From here, release the hands, step back to plank, flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Set the foot down, rotate open, windmill up. Warrior two, just a breath. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, sweep the hands behind the back, close the hip, fold to humble. Beautiful job, release the hands, plant them, step back, plank. Option for a flow or straight to down dog. Meeting and holding in down dog here. Nice, deep, cleansing breaths. 3 of those. Taking a gaze between the hands, we'll bend the knees, step or float. Use your bandhas, pelvic floor lifting, belly up and in to land lightly. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Find your mountain pose. Find your strength. Find your balance. Find your base. We're going to move through a little balancing sequence, beginning with a tree pose. So taking any setup you need. If you liked lifting your toes and setting them down one at a time, you can do that again. If you like to rock back and forth, finding your center of gravity, please feel free. Do what works for you. And then come into stillness here. We're going to start by rooting through the left side. Root through the left foot and hover the right. You can bring the sole of the foot to the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. We always avoid the side of the knee. We don't want to add pressure to the side of the knee and destabilize that joint, cause damage. And then bring your hands to your hips, feeling where they are in Notice your hip bones. Are they facing forward? Is your hip bone rotating open? So one way to open the knee without losing that forward facing hip bone is to actively press foot into thigh, thigh into foot, and have a slight tuck to your pelvis and feel a widening through the knee. Deeper activation for more opening. In this tree pose, wherever we are, we can bring hands to heart center. And if you'd like to further challenge your balance, you can lift the arms. So just as a mountain is stable, so is a tree. But unlike a mountain, a tree bends so that it does not break. Roots deeply to withstand the wind. Rooting down through your left side, feeling deep connection with the earth. Play with your sway. Can you have an opening through the left side of the body, a flexing through the right as you sway your branches, as you challenge your balance? Opposing forces, movement, and stability, finding your stability within your movement. And if you fall out, just come back in. We'll meet here. So keeping those stabilizing muscles in the hip active, we're not sending the left hip outwards. We're going to inhale, arms up if they weren't already. Draw the knee into the chest, flex the toes, activate the core. From here, you can interlace the fingers, releasing index, and start to transition to a warrior three position. Send the heel out behind you. Biceps are by the ears. We're reaching out of the fingers, flexing the lifted leg. The more active you are in your lifted leg, the more stable you become. Hold here, warrior three. And then bringing hands to the mat, step your way into a forward fold. Release. Inhale to roll up the spine. Mountain pose. Take a breath. Take a moment. Feel the effects in your left leg, that stabilizing leg. When you're ready, we'll move on to the right side. Rooting down through the right foot, hover the left. Bring the sole of the foot to the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Choosing a variation that works for you today. And with any and all of these balancing poses, you're welcome to have a chair for support, find a wall, use a person if they're nearby. Root down through that right side. Check in with your alignment with your hips. Mine is pulling open, so I'm going to more actively press foot into thigh, thigh into foot, and still get that opening while keeping my hips centered. Challenging your balance, arms overhead. Play with sway. Finding a fixed point to gaze upon helps with your balance, allows more stability. Take time here. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the hands overhead if they're not already. Take the knee up to the chest, interlace the fingers the opposite way, release index. Flex the toes. Lift, lift, lift through the leg, and then transition. Send left leg behind you. Reach out of the right fingertips. Nice and strong, warrior three. And in our warrior three, our hip is facing the ground. It's not rotating open. Stay lifted through that back leg. Can you bring the arms up a little higher, biceps by ears? One more breath, and then release. Step to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, jump or step to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. From this down dog position, we're going to inhale, sweep the right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Set the foot down. Inhale, come up, crescent lunge. From this crescent lunge, we're going to transition back into that warrior three pose. Find your warrior three by inhaling to energize. Find length. Exhale, step forward. Next transition is half moon. So from half moon, you might want a block, a couple books, anything that brings the ground closer to you. Your warrior three position with that closed hip, you're going to rotate the hip open. You're going to stack the arms, stack the shoulders. Again, staying active through that lifted leg by flexing the toes towards your face and reaching out of the heel. And if you want to challenge yourself further in this warrior, this half moon, we can reach for Chapasana. So, similar to the movement we did on the mat, foot comes into the hand, and it can stay there without deeper activation, or we can find better balance by actively opening, kicking into the hand. And so from Chapasana or from half moon, take another few breaths. Gaze can be on the mat, on the side wall, or up at the ceiling. Again, mindful not to fling the foot. And then both hands come to the mat. Step your way back to a low lunge. Find plank. And you can flow, or you can come straight to down dog. We will meet here. From this down dog position, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Set the foot down, knee above ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Crescent lunge. From crescent lunge, our back heel is lifted. We're strong, drawing inner thighs in towards each other for a better lifting through the pelvic floor. Transition, warrior three, inhale to energize. Exhale to float forward. Hold here. Find your balance. Build those stabilizing muscles in the ankle. And then transition half moon. Hand to the mat or to a prop. Open through the hip. Extending that lifted leg, activating out of the heel, activating the full leg. And then from here, you can hold your half moon, or you can play with Chapasana. Bringing hand to foot, foot to hand, and opening the body. Find that steady point to gaze upon. Find your balance. That sweet spot between how hard you need to engage the muscles. If you kick too hard, you fall. If you don't kick enough, you fall. Find the beautiful in between. And then gently release. Close the hip, step back, lunge to plank. From your plank position, lower down, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. From this down dog, we're going to make our way into a squat. So we're going to hop the feet wide to the outsides of our hands. Bend the knees, bring the feet wide. Option here to use a book, a block, under the sits bones, allowing you to have a nice long spine. So if your heels aren't meeting the mat, if you're feeling like this and you're hunched, the prop might be a good option for you. If you're in a place where the heels can come to the mat, then bringing the hands together, prayer position, heart center. And for me, if I have tight hips, so widening my feet, turning them outwards, helps me to come into this squat pose. If you want to challenge yourself, you can turn the feet forward, but the knees always go in the same direction as the toes. So if toes are wide, knees are wide, toes are forward, knees are forward. From this squat position, we can hang out here, getting a beautiful opening, slowing the heart rate, finding the breath, or we can play with an arm balance, your choice. So if we want to play with an arm balance, I'm offering crow pose today, which is a nice one to come into from our squat. So you can place the palms on the mat, inhale to lift the hips, and from this position, palms on the mat, start to come up onto the toes to tuck the knees up as high as you can on the arms, gazing slightly in front of you, and start to lift the toes off the mat. Crow pose. Activate through the core to get a nice lift into your crow. So if you feel like you're gonna topple hips overhead, take your gaze a little farther forward. Breathing here, taking time. Whether we're in squat or crow, we'll meet on our mat. So from whichever position, slowly lower the hips, extend the legs, windshield wiper the knees, release those hips. And then we're going to come into a little fold sequence here. So bringing left foot into the inner thigh of the right leg. Flex the right toes up to your face. Make sure you're rooted through your sits bones, move the flesh out of the way. Nice and tall through the torso. And then from here, we're going to turn our chest so that it's over our extended right leg. If you have a lot of space between your knee and the mat, and as you fold, you might come flush with it. If you don't, always option to prop under the knee. From here, just walk yourself forward. Keeping your gaze on your toes. If we start gazing down at our knee, we start rounding through the back. So we want to come down with as flat a back as we can, protecting the spine. And maybe we're holding thigh, calf, toes, wherever we are today, enjoying that moment, enjoying the stretch. Feeling the body soften, those tight muscles releasing, restoring balance to our body through our yoga practice, keeping our bodies even left to right. And we're going to open up here. So right leg stays long. If the arm can come onto the leg, great. If it can come down onto the mat, great. If you want to prop up, please do. So wherever the arm is today, finding an opening through the chest, open the shoulders, reaching up and over with that left hand. Beautiful side body stretch here. See if you can soften any aspects of this stretch. So maybe your left hip, maybe the left knee. Maybe you can reach further out of that right heel. Just noticing here, Scanning the body. One more breath. And then with our inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Place our left hand behind the back. Sweep our right arm out and around. Let the sole of the right foot come to the mat and lift the hips up. Beautiful opening. Gently unwind and switch the feet. So from here, flex the left toes to the face, reach out of the heel, root through the sit bones. Can you turn your torso so that your chest is coming over that extended left leg? And when you're ready, start to fold. Gazing at the toes, thinking of the chest coming down rather than the forehead. And then with time, as you open here, as your body releases and relaxes into the stretch, maybe you do fold. Maybe you do let the forehead rest. Deepening your mind-body connection through your practice. Where are you feeling the stretch? What does your body need? And we're going to come for that lateral opening here. Left arm can be on the leg, can be on the floor, can be on a prop. Find what works for you and then open the chest. Extend the arm, reach up and over for a full lateral stretch. And gaze wherever it's comfortable for your neck. That might be up at the sky, might be down at the mat, or anywhere in between. Nice deep breaths here, feeling how it expands the intercostal muscles of the ribs, deepening the stretch. And use your next inhale to sweep that right arm behind you. Rotate that left arm around the body until you're in this back bend. Front body opening. Left foot is firmly on the floor. And then we'll rotate back to our mat. From here, releasing both feet. And we're going to make our way into a supine position onto our back bodies. So from here, you can roll down onto your mat. And we're going to play with a shoulder stand. So if shoulder stand is in your practice, you can make your way into that in the next few breaths. Otherwise, I will walk you through it. So when we're coming into shoulder stand, we want to make sure the elbows are nice and tight to our side body. Palms are facing our face. We want a long back of the neck without an active tuck to the chin. So you're not compressing the front of the throat. So stay long through the back of the neck as best you can. And then from here, you're going to start to lift the feet over the face. Bring the hands to the low back for support. Maybe you need to walk your elbows closer together for a better base of support. And you're working to find that beautiful position where you're stacked perfectly. So hips over shoulders, knees over hips, feet over knees. When you find that position, you'll know, because it's easy. It feels easy once you're there. But if you feel really unstable, keep the hands at the low back, or just slowly come out of this by engaging the core, tucking the knees, rolling down onto your back. If you are comfortable in your shoulder stand and you're staying there, have a little fun with it. So you can practice different variations. That might be tapping the toes overhead, building the core strength. That might be coming into halasana, plow pose, toes overhead. So as if the toes meet the mat, then you want to actively press into the floor, engage the thighs. You can bring the hands down the mat if you have that base of support in the toes. Maybe you want to play with knee to ear pose, with butterfly legs, finding any variation for another 5 rounds of breath. Making sure the weight is in your shoulders, not in your head and your neck. We don't want to strain our cervical spine. We want to be gentle with our neck. When you've taken 5 full rounds of breath, come out of this pose ever so slowly. Take time to roll down the spine. Use the core to control the descent of your legs. And we'll meet on our backs. We're going to counter that shoulder stand with a fish pose. So coming into fish pose, you can extend the legs long. Tuck the hands, palms on the mat, under the low back. You can lift the chest to look at the feet, look at the toes, and tuck your elbows underneath you. Comfortable here. You can slowly lift the chest up to the sky as you let the head come to rest on those beautiful shoulder muscles. A full front body opening here. Even though we weren't actively trying to compress the front of the throat, we still got a little compression if we practice that shoulder stand. So this is countering that, opening, releasing. And you're welcome to add in a more challenging variation of fish pose by, as you lift the chest, you also hover the feet, working on the core. If that's in your practice, please feel free. We'll just take another 2 full breaths here. Keep shining the chest up to the sky. And then as we release, we untuck the elbows and come onto the back body. Coming into supine position here, and we're going to take just one gentle twisting sequence before our final shavasana. So for this twisting sequence, we're going to start with a figure 4 or reclined pigeon, bringing your right ankle onto your left thigh, opening the knee. You might stay here today. This might be enough of a stretch. If you'd like to deepen this, you can draw left knee up to the chest, bringing hands behind the calf or behind the thigh, or under the knee. And explore here. Find where your body is open, where it needs the stretch. Just small movement, side to side with the left knee, will tell you everything you need to know about where you're feeling tight in that right hip. When you find the deepest stretch for your body, hold there, breathe into it. And then we'll gently release the knee, bringing arms out to a T position, taking the sole of the right foot over the left side. And if you'd like a deeper opening and deeper stretch, you can actively push the knee away from you. This is a nice gentle stretch through the hip into the side body. If you would like a full twist, instead, you can come back through center, fully cross the leg, maybe inch onto the left hip a little bit further, and then let the knees come to the side. Take your gaze in the opposite direction. So finding the twist, finding the pose that works for you today. And breathing there. And then when you're ready, gently bringing your gaze through center first. The knees follow. Uncross the legs. Figure 4 on the other side, left ankle onto right thigh, opening left knee. If this is good, stay here. If you'd like to deepen, you can bring hands behind the thigh, draw the right knee in, or hands under the knee. Low back stays on the mat, gentle tuck to the chin. And again, side to side motion, small movements to seek out the best stretch. I should have mentioned this on the other side, but we like to keep our foot active so that we're not straining the supporting muscles in our ankle. So keep the toes of your left foot flexed in this figure 4. If the foot is relaxed, then you can add undue strain to the ankle. And every exhale, allowing your body to soften into this pose. And a gentle release. You can keep the feet and the legs as they are. Just bring sole of the foot onto the floor. Maybe opening the knee a little further. Nice stretch to the outer edge of the body. If you would like that full twist, back through center, cross the legs. Come onto the hip. Turn over. Shoulder blades stay on the mat. Arms to a T, to goalposts, or one hand on the knee, deepening. Full spinal twist means we need to turn our gaze in the opposite direction of the knee. Breathe here. And then with your inhale, in your own time, coming back through center, releasing, unwinding. And that is going to be our last sequence before our Shavasana. So sending the legs long if you're ready. If your body needs any other movements before its final rest, please feel free to take it. If you're ready for your Shavasana, your legs are long, feet wide. Walk the shoulder blades away from the ears. Palms face the ceiling. And we take nice, slow breaths. Coming back to that intention, that balance. If you found that you needed more space, scan the body and see if you achieved this. If you found that you needed strength, look for this in the body. And as we sink into our Shavasana, our final rest, I would like to share one of the Radiance Sutras with you. I thought it fit well with our intention today. Watch for a moment in which two opposing perceptions occur, wanting to go and not going, knowing and simultaneously not knowing. In the midst of this dilemma, let go of both perceptions and jump in to the interval between. Reality flashes forth. Your being is the shining field of awareness, the continuum in which the opposites play. We are all a bundle of contradictions, opposing forces, coming together as one being. And we can only do the best with what we have and strive for balance. And take this time in your Shavasana to deepen your mind-body connection with a full body scan. Sending the inhales through the body. Seeking out spaces where you can relax further. Allow those spaces to soften with every exhale. It is natural for our minds to wander. And each time we witness this, we cultivate a deeper awareness, a stronger focus. Without judgment, witness when your mind wanders. Where does it go? What pulls at your attention? Know that you can come back to it and give yourself the space now to just breathe. If you are able to, please stay in your Shavasana. Enjoy this rest. If you are ready to close your practice, take a big inhale. Feel it move the body. And allow this breath to invite more subtle movements. Wiggle fingers and toes. Move wrists and ankles. Bend. Breathe. And if it feels good in this moment, take a full body stretch. Inhale. Arms overhead, reach out of the feet. And use your exhale, your momentum to roll onto the side body. Take time. And when you're ready, we'll meet in a seated position. We'll close our practice together, hands at heart center, with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, sigh out through the mouth. Thank you for sharing your time and your practice. Namaste.